Well, I think it's a demonstration of a massive misunderstanding on the part of the opposition, of the pro-abortion GSD, because that is the position they have now clearly taken, of what it is that the government intends to do in this command paper. The idea that the GSD is putting out there, the pro-abortion GSD is putting out there, is that somehow we are going beyond the remit of the requirements of the United Kingdom Supreme Court decision. And nothing could be further from the truth, or at least we're not hiding what we're doing in that respect, because specifically in the context of the command paper, we have added two limbs in square brackets, one in respect of fatal fetal abnormality and the other in respect of a birth with serious disabilities. And we've said, what does the community feel about these two? So for Keith Asopaldi and the pro-abortion GSD now to say that we're somehow trying to go beyond that and trying to pull the wool over people's eyes in that respect, when we have specifically in our command paper sought views in that respect, I think is an attempt to pretend to be something they're not. And that's why I think this is just the GSD attempting to camouflage themselves as if they were a pro-life group when they're not. All they're talking about, and I'm pleased for the engagement, is that we should look together at what the parameters of the law finally put before Parliament is. That's why we didn't publish a bill at this stage and we published a command paper. Instead of cooperating, they have decided to come out fighting us. I invite them and I stretch out the hand of political friendship and political cooperation
Chief Minister,
work with us to tell us how they think the law should be improved, which is presently in draft, or changed, because we have given this a lot of thought. So let's see what the pro-abortion GSD tell us are the changes that we need to make.
with all due respect, Chief Minister, it doesn't seem like a genuine reach out when you've labelled the party the pro-abortion GSD. You've said it 3 times already and 6 times in your press release.
It is a genuine reach out to understand. Look, Keith Asopaldi is a lawyer, I'm a lawyer, to understand as lawyers how he says the law should change. But what I'm not going to do is allow the GSD to pretend that it is anything other than pro-abortion in this debate. Now, what they are saying is that they would limit and narrow the ambit of the law that is finally published before it goes to Parliament. And I'm saying, well, how would you do that? There are 3 issues here. There is the issue of fatal fetal abnormality versus serious disability. There's the issue of rape and the issue of incest. Now, if you create a law that talks about the ability to have an abortion when there is an allegation of rape, in my view, all you're going to do is you're going to create many false allegations of rape, some of whom may identify an alleged attacker and might, if they are not seen to be true in the end, lead to somebody's life having been ruined as a result of a false accusation of rape. And if the finding of rape is then found not to have been well-founded, there has been an abortion based on that. So you create a circularity which is very, very difficult in law to reconcile. And what I'm saying in that respect, which is deeply important and that this community needs to confront and understand, is that for the past 30-odd years, Gibraltar, through its Gibraltar Health Authority, has been testing those who have wanted the tests for serious disabilities, and then has been offering, in other words, approving, supporting and funding abortions where the pregnant couple, where there has been a finding of a potential serious disability on birth, have decided that they want to go ahead and have an abortion. We have specifically said in our command paper, this goes beyond the judgment, but we want to hear the views of the community because the GSD, the GSLP, all political parties, but in particular Ministers for Health, therefore Keith Asopaldi, have been approving, supporting and funding abortions on this basis. Now, do we simply stick our heads in the sand like ostriches and pretend that that was not happening, which is the attitude that the GSD is taking today, although they have said specifically to GBC that they are pro-abortion and they're just looking at whether they narrow the parameters or not? And what I'm saying to them is, come forward with your recommendations so that I understand legally. Let's leave the politics of this to one side and see how you would make those changes. And yet they haven't done so. All they've wanted is a combative exchange. Everybody else, however passionately they feel about these things, has actually submitted their views in the consultation. I encourage them to do so. I offer them the hand of political friendship in understanding their views legally and see whether we can do this in a more sensitive and a more structured way than just going at each other politically.